You walk into a cafe, eager to land the job, and the manager says, "Just jump behind the machine for a trial shift." In Australia, employers can legally ask you to do a short, unpaid trial, but calling a shift a trial doesn't automatically make your labor free. The legal line is drawn the moment you cross from demonstrating a specific skill to performing independent, productive work. The second you start effectively running the floor for them, the law generally considers you an employee. There's no universal rule making all shifts under 2 hours unpaid, or a magic one-shift safe harbor. The exact duration of a lawful trial is dictated entirely by the specific job's complexity. Simple tasks take minutes. Highly complex roles might potentially require a full shift. This creates a brutal friction if you're looking for work. You want to prove you can handle the job, but you also don't want to get played for a free shift. Accepting a brief, directly supervised skill demonstration means giving up a small amount of unpaid time. Understanding this boundary protects you from being exploited for hours of uncompensated labor. The legality of your trial isn't determined by whatever time limit the boss threw out. It is determined by the objective reality of the work you actually perform on the floor. Fair Work identifies direct supervision as critical for a lawful trial. Left alone to manage the floor, it ceases to be an assessment. Warning signs appear when taking on normal workloads. Serving regular customers, filling rosters, or closing means you're doing productive work. Let's look at how this plays out. Imagine Emma applies for a barista job. The manager watches her make 4 specific coffees over 45 minutes without serving a single paying customer. Because this is a brief, supervised test of a specific skill, it qualifies as a lawful, unpaid demonstration. Compare that to Ali. He applies to a restaurant and is told to work the Saturday rush from 5 p.m. to midnight. He takes orders, carries food, and wipes down tables beside the normal staff. Ali isn't taking a test. The restaurant is directly benefiting from his productive labor to get through a busy Saturday night. Despite the trial label, Ali is acting as an employee, and he should be paid for those hours. Then there's Jin, who is told the kitchen requires a 2-week unpaid trial to see if he's a good fit. He immediately starts working the standard roster. Fair Work explicitly points out that extended multi-day arrangements like this go far beyond testing skills. Jin is an employee, and he must receive full payment for all hours worked. When you generate revenue or handle regular daily operations without constant assessment, the activity is no longer a recruitment test. It becomes taxable employment. Some businesses use a tactic known as churning and burning. A restaurant brings in a different applicant every Saturday night, extracts one unpaid shift from each of them, and hires no one. Even if you are the applicant who only worked a single shift, participating in a scheme designed to disguise employment to obtain free labor means you are legally owed wages. Employers frequently confuse a trial with probation. Probation is evaluation after employment begins. Probationary employees must receive lawful pay. Need days to evaluate? Employ them casually, like Maya at a salon. She's paid hourly, receives pay slips, and is assessed during paid shifts. This applies to mandatory pre-employment tasks too. Let's say Leo gets the job, but his boss requires him to complete 4 hours of online safety modules at home before his first shift. Fair Work states that if training or meetings are compulsory requirements for the job, that time legally counts as paid working time. It is not free orientation just because you did it on your own couch. An employer cannot sidestep minimum wage laws simply by renaming productive labor as probation, orientation, or a one-off test. The labels get even blurrier for graduates. Sophia finished university 6 months ago and accepted a 3-month unpaid internship at a marketing firm. She manages clients, hits deadlines, and works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Calling her an intern doesn't magically remove minimum wage requirements. Because her work isn't a required part of an active education or training course, it's not a lawful vocational placement. An employment relationship exists, and she is entitled to pay. International applicants often face direct exploitation. Ravi applies to a cafe, and the owner flat out tells him, international students always do 3 free shifts. There is no special set of rules that allows employers to underpay visa holders.
Migrants, international students, and working holidaymakers possess the exact same workplace rights and protections as any other employee in Australia. If an employer threatens to cancel your visa for asking to be paid for a trial, treat that seriously and seek independent help. An employer cannot legally cancel an Australian visa. Only Home Affairs has that power. And if a business tells you to work 2 weeks for free to gain Australian experience, remember that your agreement to do so does not legally erase an employment relationship once you start doing productive work. Your willingness to accept zero pay or your lack of bargaining power does not override your statutory minimum entitlements. If you determine that your trial crossed the line into actual employment, you need to calculate what you are owed. Do not just take the hours worked and multiply them by one flat national minimum wage number. Your correct rate depends entirely on your specific award. That award factors in your classification, your age, the industry, and exactly what day and time your shift took place. For context, from the first full pay period starting on or after July 1, 2026, the national minimum wage for an award-free adult full-time or part-time employee is at least $26.44 per hour. If you are an award-free adult casual, that jumps to at least $33.05 per hour, which includes the 25% casual loading. Because many workers are covered by specific awards with higher rates, you should use the Fair Work Pay and Conditions tool. PACT is essential for calculating your exact legal entitlements, including any minimum engagement periods, and adjusting for the exact year your trial happened. This matters heavily because some employers schedule trial shifts on weekends to avoid paying expensive penalty rates. If you are doing productive work, you are legally entitled to those Saturday or Sunday premiums. Figuring out whether your trial was lawful is only the first step. The second is accurately calculating the specific legal value of that labor under Australian law. Before you agree to anything, start gathering evidence. Take screenshots of the job advertisement and your messages with the employer. During the shift, record your exact times and duties. Fair Work's Record My Hours app is built precisely for this. If you need to request payment, keep your communications strictly factual. Write down the exact hours you worked, list the duties you performed, and ask them to confirm the applicable award rate for your time. Avoid firing off aggressive accusations. While intentional wage underpayment did become a criminal offense in 2025, not every disputed trial shift is criminal wage theft. Some employers simply misunderstand the rules, and exaggerating your claims can derail a quick resolution. To protect yourself before your next trial, run through this checklist. Ask exactly what skill is being tested. Ask how long it will take. Confirm who will be directly supervising you, and make sure there is a genuine vacant job available. Afterwards, check if you did productive work. Find your correct award using PACT, ask for payment in writing, and if the issue remains unresolved, contact Fair Work for assistance. Please note, the information in this video was checked on 11 August 2026 and constitutes general workplace information only under the Australian National Framework. You have every right to prove your skills for a job you want, but you never have the obligation to donate your labor to a business.